Carls from Carls Crafts. Welcome back if you've been before, and hi if this is your first time. Thank you for popping along. This is my whip and chat of what's been going on in the Withington household this week. I've got my candle lit for anybody that needs any prayers, thoughts or positivity. Know that somebody's got a candle lit for you, and that is going behind me. And also I've got my little sign up. I put this up yesterday and I'm going to put it up again today. Be kind to yourself as well as others, because that we forget to do, and I've been forgetting a lot lately. So I've done this little thing which is on the wall behind me to remind me, and I thought if any of you need to be reminded, it's great that we're kind to others, but the one person that we need to be kind to we forget, and that's ourselves. So come on folks, yeah. Lecture over. Right, so we zoom in a little bit. There you go. So we're going to be doing, I don't want to zoom in too much because you know what my zooming in's like. Am I the one extreme or the other? Will it go in a bit further? There we go. So we are doing, come on focus, you can focus. Down here. And that's the best it's going to do. I've got my Shiny Shazza tray there with me washi tape because I dropped it. I've got my Rachel Ray cover minder. I'm working on my Bubblegum Spaniel for the Spring Fling, run by Diamond Painter Fanatics, and I love it. I've got my cup of tea, and I've got to show you. Look, I've got a new mug. I can't tip it, but it's from Stevie Brown, I think, Potteries. Or Brand Potteries. If I remember, I'll put a link. Grant bought, we've got him and hers. Hers is a bit smaller than mine. But I love drinking out of pottery cups. It tastes so much different. And mine's got about three, my other one that I usually got my juice in has got about 3 or 4 cracks down it. So hubby said, time for a new one. But I will still use the old one. Right, where are we on there? If I bring that down slightly to there, you're not going to see it, so I need to move the camera. Right, I think we're sorted now, aren't we? Yeah. So how's everybody's week going? Are you all okay? Have you had a busy week, a quiet week? I'm just going to move that up out of the way, sorry about the crinkling. Have you done much? What's the weather like with you? Ours is absolutely gorgeous sunshine, but it's raining. You heard me. Raining. Yeah, it's very cold. If you don't know what that means. Yeah, just a tad. If you can get somewhere that's sheltered, where the sun's on and it's sheltered, you're fine. But if not, you'll be like that. I can't find that one. I want to do that one, which is on the side. There it is. But yeah, it's a little bit on the chilly side out there. So I've been out there with Grant's out there. This is one of his jumpers and coats. And I go out there, I have my shawl that Mandy made me around my shoulders. And then I have the crochet blanket that I did, that I finished this year. I have that around my knees. And I've been sat out there for a little while, on and off with hubby, doing a little bit of crochet and then white squares for the baby blanket. But yeah, once my hands get really cold though, I have to come in. I stick it for so long and then we come in. So yeah, it's very quiet in my household. Have you noticed? There's no creaking and banging and crashing, and we have no kids. Can you believe it? There's always one child in the house usually, but no, because Josh is in uni. So we don't hear off him. If I text him and say, are you okay? All I get is yep, and that's it. Jessie's gone to Aberystwyth on the bus with 2 of her friends. The first time she's done that. Because she's 13 now, 14 this year. So they've decided that they will go to Aber, which is just over an hour away. So we can get to her if we need to. But she's loving it. I texted her, said, are you alright? And I got back of her was, yep. Is it busy? Yep. There's a protest going on. I said, oh, something to do with Labour, she said. I said, oh, okay, you all alright? Yep. So I thought, oh, that was the end of that conversation. And Millie Moo has gone out to meet a few of her friends. They're going to have a go at roller skating, because some of them do roller skating anyway, and Millie's wants to have a go at it. She's quite interested in it. So I said she needs to try it before she starts buying the boots and stuff to see what it's like. So they found some boots, old boots that should fit her. So they were all meeting up, a gang of them, and they were going to go roller skating on one of the old car parks. So yeah, so I had her in tears though earlier because, oh bless her, she said she tried to go and buy herself an ice cream, and she said I panicked when I got in there and I ran away. I thought, well, that's fine, you know, it's okay, you know, one step at a time. She said there was too much going on, too much noise and stuff. I said that's all right. And she said, and I've lost my pin badge off my bag. She said her Fox one. She said, I don't know where it's gone. So I said, look, I said, it's only a pin badge. I said, you know, we can get you another one. Your health and temperament is more important, sorry, than the Fox pin badge. I think it was only something like £1 of Shane or Sheen or whatever you call it. No, it wasn't expensive, but she liked it, so she was ever so upset. So she was so distraught, bless her. So I said, do you want me to come up to you now? I said, I can bring you home. I can come up and give you a cuddle. I can come and sit with you. She said, no, can I just talk it out? So I said, yeah. So she had her friends were waiting off to the side, and so she talked a lot off, and I managed to calm her a bit. And I said, go and have a go with the girls. I said, and see how you get on. So I texted her about half an hour ago, and I said, you okay? She said, yes, thank you. I said, do you need me to come out? She said, no, thank you. So I said, okay, you know where I am. Bless her, she is struggling at the moment. I think the pressure of school and everything is getting a bit too much for her. We're trying to open a bank account for her because she's got money that she's saved. She's got about £300, I think, that she saved. Because she saved it, because I said if she had this she shed, she'd have to pay to have the inside done, thinking that she wouldn't do it, knowing that I would pay for it, as you do as a mum. But she did save up for it, so I said no, she can keep that, and she can buy whatever she wants. You know, if she wants to get some interiors things, you know, bits and bobs, she's got some money to get it when the shops are open again. So where was I going there? Yeah, so she's been a bit wanting to open this bank account. Well, you can't see people face to face, can you? And because she wants to go to the bank that Grant's in, not the one I'm in, they said, oh, you can do it online. 15 minutes, it says it'll take. 15 minutes instead of your time. It'll be done in an instant. They're having a laugh. We must have been on there an hour last night, and I still don't know whether I've done it right. It wasn't clear whether it was Millie fills in bits, Grant fills in bits, whose documents you had to send, when and what, and oh. So I sent all this stuff, and I said to Millie, hopefully I've done it right, and it just says we'll get back to you. Of course, then she had a bit of a meltdown because she thought it meant 15 minutes and you would have your bank account. And I said, so I had to explain to her, no, that means just 15 minutes of filling in the forms, and then they'll have to look at them, but it's a weekend, so it'll probably be Monday. And she said, well, why doesn't it say it on the site? Why doesn't it say it? So I'm hoping to God that I've done it right. If I haven't, then Grant said he'll have to take a day off work. But you can't ring him to make an appointment for him to take a day off work to go in and see him. So he could go in and they say, sorry, you'll have to make another appointment. It's bloody absolutely stupid, it is. But yeah, but she needs her own bank account, because she said she can put this money in there, and then because most places are cashless now, they won't take cash. So she said I can just use my card then, and I'm not carrying a load of cash around with me, which makes sense. So I said fine. So yeah. And then her consultant secretary rang yesterday. I remember I said we went to see a consultant to do a neurodevelopment. We've got one final part to do, which she said do by phone, but she said, oh, it could take 6 weeks to a couple of months, she said, before you get the phone call. So I wasn't expecting it, because it was only like not this week, just gone, the week before, that we'd seen. But no, I had a phone call Tuesday, 9:30, is that fine? I said, yeah, that's fine. So I've got that. So I've been reading back on my notes and things for when she was little, and what the healthcare person had said on her notes, because I told the healthcare where to go after about a year. And I'm very patronising, because I was saying something's wrong when they say no, she's just slow. But then I look back on the notes, I should have read the notes, and she's actually wrote that she doesn't smile, she doesn't giggle, she doesn't babble like she should at the ages that she was, and a few other things. I mean, I never smiled. I still don't smile very often. I do have a chuckle. That's why I've got the puppet face. And if you don't know what a puppet face is, it's where the mouth looks like it's got 2 lines down the side of it to your chin, because you're always frowning and not smiling. I can tell remember my mother saying, if you pull a face, it'll stay like that. Well, it has. I didn't ever smile. No particular reason, I don't think. I just didn't smile, didn't find anything to smile about. But yeah, yeah, there was a few things in there, and I thought, oh, and like we used to call her Moaning Millie. We said you'd moan at anything, but when I look back, like me and Grant says at the time, you don't see it, but when you look back on it, she wasn't moaning. She just couldn't cope with what was happening around her. But we didn't know any better. I mean, we didn't shout at her or anything. We just used to let her carry on and give her a hug at the end of it and say, come on, it's going to be all right. But now we know they were meltdowns. But, you know, we live in a little tiny town that knows bugger all, and they all think it's going to come out in the wash. So, and like we noticed when she was like 18 months, coming up for 2, her head grew a lot bigger. Her body was on, I think it was something like the 65 centile line, and her head was on like 97. And when I broached it, I did take some photos, but when I broached it, they said, oh, it'll be fine, it's nothing to worry about, you know. Was it not? Was it something to do with it? Like we say, we never know. Now I wish that I'd pushed it, but where would we have gone? There was nowhere to go to push it back then, and where we live. So I do feel like I've let her down a little bit, but is that the right one? Yeah. But hey ho, I said hopefully we'll get it all sorted and find out what exactly is going on and how she is, and she just wants answers. Doesn't want to be cured or anything like that. She said, Mum, I am what I am. And I said, you definitely are, and you're the most gorgeous girl going. I said, you're beautiful inside and out, which she is. I mean, she doesn't understand feelings very well, and she's not very good at being diplomatic, and she's not very good with other people's feelings, but she tries. She's learning now over the last 18 months to, you know, to try and stop and think. She says she is me in a little head, you know, really try and stop and think, how's that person feeling, and especially her sister. But I said to her, you know, you only can be what you are, you can't do any more, and that's fine. As long as you are the best you can be, nobody can ask any more. So she's doing her final part on her art exam, and that's starting to come together now. So she's getting really, we've got all the wire in and all the bits of plaster and card, and to build all this 3D. So it's sort of a 3D project, sort of, I think. So she's got that now. She's in Josh's room for a couple of weeks. She's taking it all up there so she can do bits and bobs whenever she wants. So she said that's helped. It's starting to look really good, to be fair to her. Oh, my tumble dryer's gone funny. Whoopee. When you think you haven't got any major bills, or do you know what I mean? We thought, oh, I said to Grant, I said, oh, we've got a couple of hundred left in the bank. This is great, you know, especially with me selling a few things on Etsy, which is great. Thank you very much for everybody that bought as well. It's well appreciated. So I said I can use some of that to buy some more materials. And I need to buy Jessie a jumper from school. And that's stupid because the place you've got to buy their uniform, right, it's only open from 9 till 1 on a Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. I can't get there. It's beyond. So I've got to get her a jumper anyway. Anyway, what was I saying? See, my mind goes off. See, when you have fibromyalgia, your mind wanders here, there and everywhere. Oh, that's it. So putting the dryer in the dryer this morning because I haven't had a line for about a year. And I thought 30 minutes hasn't gone by that quick. So I'm sure it's only like about 5 minutes, if that, because I was busy prepping some stuff for lunch. So I went and felt it. I thought, nah, it's as damp as hell. So I put it back on for 30 minutes. I looked at the clock to think, right, it'll be ready about, you know, so-and-so time. Bugger me, 3 minutes later, it stopped again. And it's gone from the 30 minutes to 0. So I thought, something's not right here. So tried it again. Nah. Went straight to 0 again. So I said to Grant, come and have a go. So he came and had to go and fiddle with the dial back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, but no, it's gone. So he's been out and bought me a line. So he's got to get some clothes pegs, so we've just hung it over the line at the moment. So I said I'll go and get some clothes pegs after. Do you need to come in? I can hear you hovering outside the door. No, you're right.
Just gonna go and get some pegs.
No, I'll get them after. I can get them after. I've done this Wip and Chat.
Filming?
Yeah. I'll get some after. I think he wants to go out and get the pegs. Maybe the wind's blown them off the line. So I just lobbed them over the line for now. So we only got a small garden, so the line was taken down because there wasn't really enough room for it. But I said to Grant, I'm going to have to put it back up. So he said, well, I've got enough to get one. So I've just bought a cheaper one. And that's coming Thursday because we do use the dryer an awful lot. When you've got 3 kids, a husband that works and needs clean clothes when he comes home. And the kids have clean clothes every day. Clean pyjamas every day, you know, it mounts up. They all have showers every day, so towels and stuff. So it mounts up, doesn't it? So yeah, so hopefully nothing else is going to go kabang. I hope it's not this 3 lark thing, you know, you're going to have 3 things that go kabang because I won't be happy. I just seen him walk across the road to his car and now he's come back across the car. Unless he's walking up. Maybe he's walking. Doing his daily exercise. The dog won't be happy if she's looking out the window. The dog's now sussed out to get on my bedroom window. Because my side of the bed's near the window. And in the day I tend to close them now. Otherwise she'll sit up there for... She can jump on it. She can't jump off it. So I open the windows for about an hour or 2 hours in the morning. Then I'll go up and I'll shut the curtains. But if somebody goes out, she likes to be up there until they come back. Well, I went out in the week and she come back and she was on the windowsill. Curtains were closed. So she's sussed now how to get onto the windowsill somehow with the curtains closed. So I said, you can jump on. If you could jump off it, Lily, I said, I'd leave the curtains open. I said, so I've got to, I don't know whether to leave them open, but the trouble is when the sun goes on there, it gets so hot on that windowsill. I said, she'll bloody boil alive. Silly doggy. Silly doggy. What else has been happening? kids went back to school on Tuesday, and of course they loved it not. So it's all right, but you know, it's getting back into the routine of schooling, isn't it? From school. They said the only good thing is they come home and that's it. You know, it's over and done with. Whereas before they'd be doing stuff in the evenings as well. Monday we had a Zoom thing with Shalene from the Current Book Nook. Is it? Yeah, Current Book Nook. She very kindly, well, Danielle organised it for me, Danielle, Crystal and Julie from the Yorkshire Crafter because we're all doing the Mermaid on the Moon for My Mermaid Along. I've not done beading on cross stitch, especially when they're here, there and everywhere, and how to do it. So Shalene very kindly was teacher for an hour and a half and showed us how to do it. So it was good really, because we could all ask questions. So if there wasn't something you didn't understand, like watching the DVD or a YouTube thing, you can't ask questions, can you? If you don't quite get something, you can't ask the questions. So then we got her to do French knots for us all different ways. So she showed us all different ways to do French knots and explained it a bit more simple for people like me that don't get things very easily. So yeah, so that was good on Monday. She said anytime, or if you don't understand it, give me a shout. I said don't worry, I will. I'll be yelling from the rafters, because there's a lot on that thing with all the little doodahs everywhere. Went up the Elam Valley, up to the dams, because that's all back open now, and local shops are allowed to open as of this week. So Dad called in and said, "Do you fancy taking the dog up the Elam Valley, see the dam?" We were going to see the bottom dam. I said, "Yeah, let's go." The dog was there by her lead within 2 seconds. She said, "Come on then, let's go." So we went up there. Their restaurant isn't open there, or their cafe, but they had a little truck thing outside selling teas and coffees and pop and crisps things for cash only. So we grabbed a coffee and then sat on a park bench, and the dog was watching us. It was chocker for a weekday, and like our kids are all back in school, but England apparently aren't yet, and there was a lot of English over here. It was chocker. It was like the height of summer. I've never seen so many people up there with dogs and bikes. And so we found a remote little place, drank our coffee, then we decided we weren't going to hang around there. We'd go down to the river where we'd take the dog, me and Grant and the kids. So I took Dad, well, he was driving, so I showed him where to go and park up, and then Lily showed him where she goes to the river, but she said it was too cold. She went to have a drink of the water, and it must have been like ice, because it was cold, because she'd come running back up the bank to us. It was so funny. Dad said, "Oh, why don't you go in the water?" I said, "Nope, not if she can help it. She doesn't like water, full stop. Sea, the river, no." She said she's not keen on it at all. And the river was quite low as well, to be fair. It was running quite gently. So we stayed down there for a while and then just walked back up to the car slowly. She was good as gold, she was. And there's loads of sheep and little baby lambs. She doesn't bother them. She just stays by your side. Good as gold, but that was nice. I think it did him good as well, to get out to doing the normal stuff. It was a real rough week with Mum. I had a phone call. Let me have a drink of tea. Excuse me. Tuesday I had a phone call. They said, "I've got to inform you that your mum choked severely today." It scared the staff this time. She had a few choking incidents before, but this one scared her. They said she didn't quite stop breathing, but she weren't far off before they managed to get it sorted. So I said, I said, is it the dementia side of it where she's forgetting to swallow properly, or is it that it just went down the wrong way? And I said, well, she was eating soup, drinking soup. I don't know what you call it, drinking soup, eating soup, whatever. So there was no hard lumps in it or whatever. So we think the reflex of swallowing wasn't correct. So she'd have to be evaluated by a specialist, which she has. So she has to have the thickener. You know, oh, it's disgusting as well. She's got to have the thickener in all drinks and all foods to make it harder for it to go down. So what it does is it slows the swallowing reflex down, so it's able to go down. Or something like that. My sister's on it. My sister's been on it for quite a few years. Well, hers is pureed now. She can't have any food with any bits in whatsoever because she'll choke because her body's forgotten the swallowing reflex isn't very good. She can swallow, but it's not how it should be. So she'll choke. Well, she chokes until she's sick. So, but she's on it. So now Mum's on it, which upset Dad. But I said it's better to be on that and be okay. You know. So I rang them today to see how she was getting on. But they said she's getting on fine. She's very, very tired all the time. And they don't know why. The diabetes is a little bit high. It was 9.7 this morning. But it had gone back down a little bit this afternoon. But they said she's very, very sleepy, which doesn't help either. But they took her off the psychotic drugs because they thought it was that. But that's made no difference on the tiredness, and the other drugs that she's on will not make you feel tired. So I don't know. We don't know. They said it could be just part and parcel of the dementia because that has the effect. And also because she's always on the go, because she always wants to be walking. So they say, you know, her body could be saying, no, I don't want to be. I'm too tired for it. But yeah, dementia's a bastard. Excuse my language, but it is. Feels like you're losing your mum very, very slowly and painfully. You know, she doesn't know me now, so I've phoned her a few times. They've said not to do it now because she's getting so distressed by having a phone put by her. It's causing more harm than good. So at the moment I've just got a phone up and they'll say, oh, it's Caroline on the phone, and they'll just relay the message. And she copes with that better. Dad can now see her from next week. He's got an appointment. It'll be long 2 weeks, he said, but he should be able to see her on Wednesday, and you should be able to see her for a whole hour. So he is so excited that he's going to get to see her for an hour. And I said, I know. It's gone from half an hour to an hour. So I said, that'll be lovely for him. He really needs it. You know, and he said to me, oh, you need to see your mum. And I said, yeah, I do need to see my mum, but at the moment you need it more than me. I said, if I thought it'd make a difference to her seeing me, I said, I'd be there in an instant. But I said, at the moment she needs to see you and you need to see her because that's what she remembers. You know, she wants to know where Dad is, why isn't he there? So I said, you need to be there. I said, as soon as they allow more than one visit, I said, I can... more than one visit a week. I said, I'll be there in a heartbeat like I was before. But the thing is, he can't cope with not seeing her. And if I took that hour away from him, I don't know what he'd do. I think he feels guilty because I'm not seeing her. And I said, yes, but I'm in contact a few times a week. I said, so, you know, she knows that I'm thinking of her. They're constantly telling her that I'm phoning and whatever, so I'm reminding her. But it's, yeah, it breaks my heart because I'd love to see her. I'd go, you know, she's my mum, I desperately want to see her, but seeing my dad cry every time I see him is like, no. You know, I've got to give up what I want at the moment, and he needs it. Thought I could hear something then. No. I thought I could hear somebody shouting. What else? Oh, I bought Lily some toys for her teeth, to help with her teeth, you know, because she can't use the toothpaste at the moment because it makes her feel sick. So I bought this toy that's supposed to put like a little treat or something or some chicken inside it, and then they chew and chew and chew on this toy, and it helps to pull the plaque off. Will she flipping chew it? No. She's sticking her tongue in the gaps to get whatever's inside it and just licking it to death. I'm going, you've got to chew it. And she just looks at me and just sticks her tongue in it. I said, chew the bloody thing. It's supposed to help your teeth. Nope, she will not chew it. I've tried putting all sorts in it. Well, she's not allowed a lot of things. But I have got some low-fat treats today, just out of desperation to think that she might try them. But no. Nope. Will she out? She just licks it. So I did order, which has come in, is some Pro Pooch pump stuff that you spray a pump of it on their teeth, and it's supposed to, I'll show you, it's over here. Can I reach it? No, hang on guys. What does it say it is? It's on the end of here. This is it. What does it say? Breath freshener, cruelty-free, anti-plaque, anti-tartar, Pro Pooch. Gently lift your dog's upper lip to expose the teeth and gums. Apply 1 to 2 pumps of foam directly to the teeth and gums and repeat on the other side, or put it in their water. And it's supposed to prevent build-up of tartar and plaque. So that's my last, and that was, I think that was 12 quid. That was expensive for what it is. So I'm hoping to God that I can do that, or if it makes her sick, then that's my biggest worry, that it'll make her feel sick. Like the toothpaste. Oh, she's an awkward bugger. I mean, that toy thing I bought her, I think that was like 15 quid and then £4.99 postage or something stupid. But I thought, no, you know, if it helps, we're going to get it. Yeah, licks it. I said, Lily, you're not a normal dog. Normal dogs chew things. You know, they grab hold of it and they chew it. No, she licks it. And she looks at me so sweetly as if to say, what? I'm like, oh, Lily Moo, Lily Moo, what are you going to do with you, Lily? Yeah, she is funny. Oh. And then Thursday, I think there's supposed to be a meteorite shower over Britain. Comes once a year, so we go up to the Rogo Hill, we call it, a bit of a mountain top. So we're going to go up there if it's clear and hopefully see some meteorites on Thursday night. That's usually fun. We saw them last year. We saw quite a few of them last year. It was quite good up there. You could see some every sort of 5-10 minutes. You'd see a few come through. No big ones, but you know, enough to go, ooh. Yeah. And I did my trying to do my paperwork for my Etsy shop. Trying to sort that out, because I had to break down, didn't I, all what each material costs, even down to the cotton that goes in the machine and for each item and all that. And then work out how much you pay for materials, how much you pay for this, how much you pay for that, and then work out. You've got to write it all down for the tax man. So I started doing that. Yeah, bit and beyond me. And then YouTube, you have to fill in the tax code now for YouTube, because you might have to pay USA tax money for your YouTube AdSense, and if somebody donates to your channel. But I think from what I filled it in now, because I got my self-employment tax code yesterday came through, because you've got to be self-employed to get your tax code, from what I could see. So I got like self-employed tax code yesterday, so I filled all that in, and I don't think I've got to pay any taxes from what I could see. And it said I'd done it all wrong and it was all confirmed, so that's even better. But at least I said, I have, you know, you've got to do it legally if you're in any country you have to fill in that form now on YouTube, else they will take 30% straight off you of whatever you make, no matter what, whether they should or shouldn't. I think it's 30%, something like that anyway. So yeah, that was all filled in, so I'm all, I think, all correct now. Everything that I'm supposed to fill in, I filled in. I've got Business Wales meeting on Wednesday just to go through what I am doing and all the breakdowns of everything. Have I done them correctly? But we'll see. Yeah, not one for, so I bought myself a file today to put everything in one place so I know where it is. It's all, you know, it's all strange, isn't it, when you've not done it all before. How many minutes are we on, folks? Oh, we're only on 35. I feel like I've been talking to you for hours. But yeah, for the self-employed, because I'll have to put YouTube, Patreon, and Etsy all on the tax forms and self-employment forms. So it's all a new learning curve, isn't it? So once I get into it and know a bit better of what I can and can't do and how to write it down the best way. So I'm trying to fill it in as I go along, and then just have one for every month, and then at the end of the year add it all together, and then subtract everything I've got to subtract and all that malarkey. There's a lot of traffic outside our front today, seeing as we're only on a little street. As in a state street, there's a lot of cars coming and going today. Whether the sunshine is making people want to go out for drives, I don't know. So I've no idea when my kids are coming back. I suppose they'll turn up when they're ready, which is fine. Grant barbecued some burgers and sausages for lunch, so he did extras so they can have them for their tea. Because I'm not cooking today, I've decided. Well, he's told me I'll have a day off from cooking. Although I did help with the lunch. I did fried some onions, made some homemade coleslaw and stuff like that. I like homemade coleslaw so much better. But yeah, I think this afternoon, because I've only cut one project bag material and stuff out to make one. I haven't got any further this week. Yesterday I had a migraine, so I ended up going to bed really early, so I didn't even get to talk to my school friends last night, which I missed. But I just couldn't stick any noise or light or anything, so I went and lay on the bed. Well, in the bed, the dog came with me. Grant came and sat with me for a while, and then he came back down and left me to it. And then I drifted in and out. I took a load of painkillers and drifted in and out. Now let's talk of the devil. I can hear her flopping down the stairs. She's going out to see where Dad's just come back in. So she's gone to see him, see what he's up to and what he's doing. He's carving some, I think he's going to be carving some spoons this afternoon because he hasn't got an awful lot left. He sold a few last week, which was great. Because he did that bird box, didn't he? So that took up a bit of time. He's thinking he's going to make a wolf's head. So he's looking for a piece of wood to make a wolf's head. Because Millie's been on and on and on at him for a couple of years to do a wolf. She said, if you won't do a full wolf, do a wolf's head. So he sort of agreed to do a wolf's head if you can find the right piece of wood. Because he did a ram's head at the end of last year, which is really nice. So she's pushing him now to do this wolf's head, which I'd quite like as well, because I love me wolves. But Millie's got a fascination with wolves, always has done. You know, she's got wolf calendars and anything to do with the wolf bedding. Right, I think I'm going to have to think about loving and leaving you all. I'm sort of caught up in what's been going on in the Withington household. I'm going to hopefully do some cutting out of fabric. I'm going to make me and Grant a nice coffee. I'll wash my new mug out and have the coffee in that. If it's not too cold outside, I might go outside and do a bit of crocheting. If it's cold, then I'll come in and I'll cut some fabric, depending. So what I'll say is thank you ever so much for stopping by. It really is appreciated. If you haven't subscribed, you might think about joining us and subscribing with the button underneath. There's also a little bell that if you press that, I'll notify you when I go live, which is on a Sunday night, and when I put up a video, which is a few times a week. I do different videos: colouring, cross stitching, diamond painting, unboxings, chats, all sorts, floss tube, you name it, I do it. So there's something for everybody on there. My Patreon's down below if you want to have a sneaky peek at things and an inside view of what goes on. That's all down below. And my social media's there, that if you want to have a chat, or you can just leave a comment down below, and I always answer my comments and have a chat with everybody. So with that said, I'm going to say thanks for stopping by. Take care, look after yourselves, and most importantly, stay safe. Love you all. Bye for now.